Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. For those of you that are new here, my name is Sarah. I make a video pretty much every single week, all about beauty, lifestyle, a little bit of health and fitness thrown in there. I posted a video a couple weeks ago of all of my active wear recommendations and favorites, so kind of branching out and trying some new things. But today I wanted to film a makeup look of a go-to summertime clean girl aesthetic look. So that is the look that I am wearing right now. So if you want to see how I created this look, then just keep watching the video and stay tuned until the very end to get some information on a fun giveaway that I'm doing. Okay, so we are gonna get started with the summertime clean girl makeup look. So after I've done all my skincare, like my morning skincare routine, I have been making sure that I put on an SPF every day. So I just got this new one from Pacifica. I kept it in the box so I could show you. It's the Glow Baby SPF cream. It's 30 SPF and it says it is glowy and then has vitamin C and zinc oxide. So it's really nice. It comes in a glass bottle and you get 1.7 fluid ounces, and yeah, it has a pump. It's super nice and I like to just use this every day now. So I already put this on, so I'm not going to do it again because I like to put it on maybe like 10 to 15 minutes before I do my makeup every morning, just to make sure that it sets in. And then the primer that I go in with, I just want to make sure that then those aren't reacting with each other and possibly pilling, because that does sometimes happen if I do too many products on top of each other very quickly. So I like to let my skincare and this set in before I move on to the primer. But I wanted to share that this is an SPF that I am now using. So the first thing that we're gonna do is primer. And I'm going to use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is just like the mini size that I got in an order a while ago. But I'm not going to use a ton of this because I am not actually going to be putting a ton of foundation all over my face. I'm going to keep this a little more minimal. So I'm just going to put this primer on the areas of my face where I know I'm going to be putting some concealer and then powder that I want to make sure that it stays in place. I'm dealing with some dryness and redness on my chin, some peeling dry skin down there, so that's what that is. And then I do have quite a bit of acne scarring on this cheek, so I know I'll be putting some concealer there and then just a little bit on my forehead. But it's a really nice primer. It is definitely sticky. Like, you see the commercials of people putting this on and then sticking things to their hands and stuff. Like, it is actually quite tacky. Like, you can see my skin pulling away. But I really like this. I definitely want to get a full size, and I think I want to get the green one, which has the niacinamide. Oh wait, no, this says it has 4% niacinamide. Then what's the green one? I thought the green one had the niacinamide. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe the green one is something else. But this is just the mini, but I want to get the full size. So next, while I kind of let that set for a minute, I'm going to do eyes. And in the summer, especially, you want something that's kind of going to stay in place, but also is just really simple and easy. So a great thing for creating that type of look is the one and done shadow. So I have these shadow sticks from e.l.f. These I really like. They're really great for one and done, or you can use both of them in the same look, and it's just pretty easy. So I have one in Perfect Pearl and the other one in Magnetic Pull. So one's just like a shimmery champagne shade and one's a more mauvey taupey shade. So I think I'm going to use the champagne shade today, the Perfect Pearl. So what I do with this usually is I kind of warm it up on my hand for a second and then I can just go straight on. So that's all over the lid. It doesn't look like a ton of anything, but that's kind of what I want. But another great option is also from e.l.f. It's their little bite-sized quads. This is in Cream and Sugar. This is also a really good palette for just like a really simple look. So, I mean, I do wish that this like crease shade was a little bit darker, but you could just pop this in the crease and then like one of these on the lid and you're good to go. So actually, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a little bit in my crease just to like warm it up a little bit, create a little bit of dimension, but keeping it super simple. And then I'm just going to use my finger and go in with the like more coppery of the two and just go over that Perfect Pearl shade a little bit. It just kind of provides a nice base for doing something like this. And then yeah, it's just a really simple, quick, easy, like glowy eye look. So that's literally all I'm going to do in the eyes. But those are my two recommendations for just doing really quick, like one and done looks, or I guess this isn't really one and done, like two and done, whatever. But I really like these products from e.l.f. Definitely recommend them. So next, I'm going to move on to my face. I'll come back and do mascara and brows later on my eyes. But like I said, I'm not going to do a full over like liquid foundation today. But if I was, here's the two that I would recommend. I have a high-end and a drugstore option for like a lighter coverage, like skin tint option. I like the Urban Decay Hydromaniac. I have the shade 30 Light. Mine is almost gone, honestly. Like I could probably use this up pretty quickly, but this is just a really nice light coverage like skin tint type product. So I definitely recommend this, and I will probably be buying another one when this one is gone. Then for a drugstore option, I haven't used this one as much, but it kind of is that same lighter coverage feeling. It's the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. And this is, like I said, just like a lighter coverage. It's like definitely like, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say like watery, but like it's not very thick and it's just like a really thin layer. And you can build it up a little bit, but it doesn't look like cakey or built up too much. So these two, if you wanted to do a liquid foundation, this is what I would recommend. But today I'm not going to do that. I am just going to use concealer and then a little bit of powder foundation. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Superstay Concealer. This is like reformulated in the Superstay line. They're calling it Active Wear, which made me think that it would be good for like kind of like the summertime, like sweat proof type makeup. And I've had this for a couple weeks and I've been really liking it. So I'm just going to put this on the areas of my face that I need a little bit of extra coverage, but definitely not all over. So you could use a beauty blender for this. I just didn't grab one before filming this video. That's what I've been using though pretty much every day, but I'm just going to use a brush since that's what I have on hand right now. This is just a foundation brush, but if you wanted to do a little bit more detail work or maybe get a little bit more coverage, you could use a smaller like concealer brush, but I think this is going to be fine for now. Because like I said, I just want to do some pretty light coverage, just cover up any redness or discoloration, but I definitely don't feel like I need coverage like to the max all over my face. I'm going to use that same concealer under my eyes. I just didn't want to put it on yet because it does kind of set in place after a bit of time, so I kind of wanted to blend all that in before adding any more. So that one I am going to use a smaller concealer brush for. And this I have in the shade, 2022, I guess, is the shade. So I definitely feel like it is brightening as long as you get a good shade match for yourself. I feel like it just definitely brightens my under eyes, and then it covered, you know, pretty well the little spots that I was trying to conceal without, you know, standing out too much. I do have a little bit of sunburn on my nose, so try and cover that up. But like I said, I'm about to do some powder, so I think that should take care of the rest of it. Yeah, so that is this concealer. So far, I'm really liking it. Yeah, it says it has up to 30 hours of wear. I don't know why you'd ever be wearing your makeup for 30 hours. Like, that's just kind of weird, but It definitely stays in place. I haven't noticed. I've been wearing this for the past couple weeks, like I said. I haven't really noticed it like flaking off or creasing or anything during the day. So far, really liking this. So then next I'm going to powder a little bit, and I'm going to use some powder foundation. This is the Maybelline Superstay foundation. I have the old packaging. This was like the Better Skin line, but they have since reformulated and repackaged. So now it looks like this. So this is the new one, but I'm going to use my old one since I already have it. And the old one came with like the sponge. Mine is disgusting. Please don't judge it. I don't use that on my face anymore. And then the powder over here, it actually really reminds me of what the new Makeup Forever powder foundation looks like. It's literally like the same packaging, but we're just going to use this. I'm just going to lightly dab this on with like a big kabuki brush because again, even though it's a powder foundation, I don't want like a ton more actual coverage, but I do just want to mattify and set in that concealer. So that's another thing in the summer. It really depends what kind of look you're going for. If you want a more like glowy, dewy, summertime look, then that's when I would go for something like the skin tint foundations and maybe skip some powder or just use a very light translucent powder like the Catrice Prime and Fine powder I've been using in my Project Pan. But for this today, I have typically been wanting to look a little more mattified, especially with it being so hot where I live. It's nice to just like throw a powder in my purse and like touch up during the day to not like be as shiny. Okay, so that is just a light dusting of that powder foundation. So next, oh, I totally messed up and I forgot. Okay, I've been switching back and forth between powders and liquid products, but today I am going to use a cream bronzer and a cream blush. So this is definitely not ideal to be putting this on over powder, but since I did such light coverage, I'm gonna do it anyway, but normally I would do these first and then the powder, so I apologize. But for the cream bronzer, I'm gonna be using my Makeup Revolution bronzer in the light color. This is my absolute favorite cream bronzer. It works so well and it's like $8. Like you cannot beat this. So I'm just gonna be using a Real Techniques brush. I think this is like a sculpting brush or something. I don't know, the name has like totally rubbed off. But just gonna put this, I mean, like, do you see how, like, I barely tapped in and it gives you that much? It's just such a good, creamy, oh, I got way too close to my mouth there, like emollient cream bronzer. And it's like the perfect shade for me. It's not too brown or orange, but then it's not too like gray. Sometimes I feel like contours just end up looking a little too gray. So I'm gonna blend that out with a little, what do you call this, like a duo fiber brush or whatever. Just gonna blend that out a little bit. See if I want any more. So it just adds a little bit of dimension. And then for cream blush, I'm going to be using this one from Rare Beauty. This is just a cream blush in the shade Nearly Neutral. I think this is technically supposed to be like waterproof or something. So that is also really good for the summertime. I'm just going to use a little like stippling angled brush for this and just kind of dip in there, warm it up for a second. I do find that this product is very light and it almost has like a, I don't know, I don't want to say like slippery, but it kind of has that texture like silicone-y almost. I can't really describe what it is very well, but I don't feel like it, you know, it doesn't like slide around in your face necessarily, but I don't feel like it like it's gonna blend away. But it's pretty light, this color, Nearly Neutral, but I definitely still think it has like a more pink tint to it, but it just looks really nice, adds a little bit of a glow. Then again, I'm gonna blend a little bit with the duo fiber brush, make sure that blends together with the contour a little bit. But yeah, so that is the bronzer and blush. Again, apologies for putting that on after the powder. I think it worked out okay today, but I wouldn't normally do that. Normally I would do this, and then when I do the powder over, after this, I tend to like kind of skip those areas because I do want the creaminess to show through. So I don't always powder over those, especially when this is a powder that provides more coverage. So I hope that makes sense. So now that I've done most of my base products, I'm going to go in with a setting spray. This one is new to me and it is also from Pacifica. It's the same, well, not the same. I bought it because it is an SPF setting spray. So it has SPF 45. It's the Set and Protect Matte Sheer Mist. So this is really nice for adding, again, that extra layers of SPF. Even though I already put on the Glow Baby SPF today, it's nice to then put this on over top of my makeup. But also if you're having a no makeup day or a day where you're just wearing a little bit of concealer, so maybe not every area of your face has been covered by some form of makeup, this is really nice to just spray on as well and just make sure you're getting that SPF. That's super important to remember, especially in the summertime. I use SPF all year round, but this time of year when the UV rays are extra high, it's super important. So I recommend finding a SPF spray. So I think the sprayer on this is pretty nice too. I'm gonna try and see if you can see it. Like it's just a fine mist. So I really like this so far. So we're just gonna let that set in for a second. So next for brows, I am going to use my e.l.f. brow pencil, like the little retractable pencil that has the spoolie on the end. I have it in the blonde shade. And then if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that my typical go-to brow gel is the e.l.f. Well Brow. But I wanted something for the summertime that has a little bit more hold to it, especially if you're going to be sweating or working out or whatever, and you want your brows to stay in place all day regardless of sweat and everything. So I have picked up the NYX Brow Glue. It's just in this little squeezy tube, but I like that it is a squeezy tube, but is like a spoolie, and I like how tiny this spoolie is. So I think it's going to be really nice for like getting in there and like really brushing up your hairs and then making them stay. So I'm going to use the pencil off camera and get all that filled in, and then I'll come back and we'll do this part together. Okay, so I filled in my brows using the brow pencil. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but on this one, I don't think you can see it, but I have this one brow hair, it's like right here, that's like super white and blonde right now. That happens sometimes in the summer, I am a natural blonde, so my hair does get a lot lighter in the summer, and I feel like it's weirdly happening to like one eyebrow hair. But we're now gonna go in with the NYX Brow Glue. I have it in the clear shade, just because I knew that I already had colored brow products like the pencil, and I have a powder. I think you can get this in different shades as well. So I'm just going to brush my brows up and kind of go for that look, that aesthetic, which I've never really gone for before, but I just want to really see, this is like one of the first few times that I'm using this product. So I just want to really brush up my brows and then see how well they stay. So far it's looking good. Like my brows never even hold up that long, just using the e.l.f. Well Brow. So that is pretty impressive. So yeah, I think if you want to go for the more like, what do you call this? Like the feathered brow look with like your hairs really sticking up, this might be a pretty good product. And again, like a lot of other things I've mentioned, it is really affordable at Ulta or Target. So this is a good option, but we will see throughout the day how well this holds up. So next for mascara, I wanted to pick up one that was waterproof. I don't typically wear waterproof mascara on the daily, but if there's going to be a day where you're going to be hanging by the pool or going to the beach or doing something outdoors, you might want a waterproof option just to make sure that it's like really staying. So I picked up the Maybelline Lash Discovery, and when I opened this when I got home, I realized that I got the like mini brush, which I didn't know that that was like an option. So like look how tiny this brush is. But I think it'll still work actually really well on my upper and lower lashes. So we're going to put this on the upper and lower lashes, and I got this shade, I think I just got black, like blackest black. Okay, so that is one coat on this eye. I didn't really curl my lashes today, so if I had, maybe it'd be a little more lifted, but I actually feel like the smaller brush actually worked pretty well even on my upper lashes. I feel like it prevented a lot of clumping and it is pretty black. So I think it looks pretty good. So let's do the other eye. So yeah, I really like how that looks. The small little brush actually makes it really easy to get into like the outer lashes and inner lashes. So yeah, so far I am liking this. I have only used this a few times before filming this video, so it's kind of a first impressions, but so far I'm liking this. And to wash it off at the end of the day, I just use my e.l.f. cleansing balm, and that seems to get it off pretty easily, even though it's waterproof. So that's something else to think about with waterproof mascara and other waterproof products. Your regular face wash might not do the trick on the first try, so getting something like a cleansing balm, or if you have like a makeup remover towel, you might need to do that step before or after using your regular cleanser. But yeah, so far I'm liking the look of this mascara. So this is, yeah, again, the Maybelline Lash Discovery with the mini wand. So one of the last steps, well, we have two more steps. So first I'm gonna do a little bit of highlight, and I don't have a full-on cream highlight in my collection right now, but the closest I have is one of the ColourPop highlighters. And this is in Lunch Money. I love this one, and it is kind of like that cream to powder formula. So, and I just think this color is gonna look really glowy and nice, especially with the eye look that we did. So I'm just gonna pat this on the high points of my face. I know it's looking crazy. We're gonna blend it. But I'm just gonna use my finger. I find that using a brush with this does not really work, but sometimes I'll use like a makeup sponge, and that will at least pick up the product a little better. But I will use a brush to just kind of blend that out a little bit. I typically do my highlighter after I've already done a setting spray, just so that the setting spray doesn't, you know, I want this to be like, it's like the finishing touch. It's like the final step. So I do it after my setting spray just to make sure it's really like on the surface and showing through. So for lips, I have a few options of like go-to products that I have been definitely using a lot this summer. So the first one is a more like liquid lipstick formula, and that's something that definitely will be more long wearing and a little more waterproof throughout the day. So if you want something like that, I would recommend something like the Maybelline Vinyl Ink. I have the shade Cheeky, and I have used this a ton already this year. It's just a nice like neutral pink everyday shade. It does have like a little bit of a gloss to it, but it does kind of dry down and has more of that liquid lipstick feeling without being overly dry. Like I feel like the liquid lipstick phase of like whatever years those were, like 2015, 2016, like they were just so drying, and then it would just feel like your lips were like chapped, and then you'd want to put a gloss over top, but then it was weird. But this, I feel like at least like it has like a shine to it, and it never fully like dries down to that super dry feeling. Like it's still, even when I have it on, I can still like move it around my lips a little bit, but it's also long wearing and it's not going to go anywhere super easily. So that is the first option if you want something more like a liquid lipstick. If you want something that's just more like a balm, I have the e.l.f. Ride or Die Balm in Boss Berry. I also really like this color all year round, but really for summertime too. It's just a nice, like fruity pink color. That's like the best way I can think to describe it. It's definitely bright, but of course, once you put it on and sheer it out, it just kind of is a nice little flush of color. I'm not sure if they're discontinuing these or if they've like reformatted them or something. I saw, where was I? I think it was at either Target or Ulta the other day, and I saw different lip balms, but still like in the squeezy tube from e.l.f. So I don't know if that's just like a new product or if they're replacing these with those, which would be sad because I really like these and I want to get more of these. So I don't know. I'll try and still link to this and hopefully it's still available. But yeah, I definitely like these for just like kind of the sheer wash of color. And then another option, the one that I'm going to wear today for this video, is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip. I know that these are like all the rave right now and everybody and their sister has them, but I just really think that They're just super nice. Even though they say plumping, it's not overly tingly to me. It's not uncomfortable. I have the shade White Peach. So it's definitely, you can see it's just like a neutral sheer color. And I really like this one because I feel like I don't even need a mirror to put it on. So that's something that's important to me when I'm like on the go or in the summer, is just if I just want to grab something from my purse and put it on and it still makes me feel put together and like I have a wash of color, then that's like a-okay in my book. So this one definitely gives a like much more neutral looking vibe, but I think that looks really good with this more glowy look that I have, and like when you have a tan, I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, those are 3 lip options that I have, and choosing this one for today, but any of these I think would look good with this look. I just wanted something easy and simple for today. So yeah, so that is my kind of summertime clean girl looking makeup. Like it's not like no makeup because I think it's still obvious that I'm wearing some eyeshadow and some mascara, but just wanted to keep it a little more simple and clean looking. So now for the fun part of this video. I am so happy to be able to do a giveaway with some of the products that I use in today's video, or at least some very similar products. So I'm going to share with you what those are and how to enter to win this giveaway for me. So I have 5 items to give away to one person. The first item, I have one of the e.l.f. Total Face Sponges. Even though I didn't use a sponge in today's video, that is typically what I've been using day to day, so I thought this would be a fun thing to give away. Next, I have the Maybelline Superstay Activewear Concealer and the powder to give away, the new formula. So this is in the shade 22, the shade that I used today in the video. And then the Superstay powder is, I believe, 128. So I believe these are pretty complementary of each other when I picked them up at the store. So I have both of these. So these are both brand new, unopened, obviously. Next, I have, since I used that SPF setting spray, I wanted to give away one of those as well. So I actually have the Ulta Beauty version of the setting spray. This has SPF 50. So I will be having this in the giveaway as well for someone to win. And then the last product, this is kind of an optional item. If you win, you can tell me if you don't want this included. This is a highlighter that I recently decluttered from my collection. It's from Kevyn Aucoin, and it's one of the Neo highlighters. So it's like an ombre highlighter. So this I have swatched and used with a brush one time. It's just, I have so many highlighters and this just gets lost in my collection. So I figured it was time to pass it on to someone who could maybe get better use out of it. But since it is not 100% brand new, if you win this giveaway, you can tell me if you don't want me to send this to you or not, and I will not be offended. So to enter to win these 5 items, you need to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, go follow me on Instagram, and then leave me a comment below this video with your Instagram handle and letting me know that you completed all of these tasks. Then on July 31st, I will go through the comment section on this video and direct message you if you're the winner via your Instagram handle that you've left in the comments. So I hope that makes sense. So that is how that will work. You will get a direct message from me via Instagram if you've completed all the tasks, and I have your Instagram handle to be able to find you on Instagram. So thank you so much for watching this video. Again, thumbs up, please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.